is this one going to give me trouble? This one's going to give me trouble, huh? Stop. Here, anyways. Alright. Can everybody hear her okay? I feel like he's gonna be a little bit of trouble.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, I got tingles on my head. If my dog keeps barking, I'm gonna have to go do something. Alright, guys, hold on for a second. I don't want him barking and interrupting this. Hold on. Darn it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Okay. I didn't want you guys to keep hearing him bark because he won't stop. It's interesting because there's a part of him that feels like gentle in a way. But at the same time, I get this like, if he could raise a ruckus, he would raise a ruckus. And that's his words because I don't use the words ruckus. But does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. Was he like, I don't know, I keep seeing him like doing like handshakes with people. So did he like, was he popular or have a lot of friends or have specific handshakes?
Yeah, he definitely like was well liked by people, and that was sort of like his thing, is if he saw people, he would like give them like a quick handshake.
Yeah, it's like like you do, you know how the guys have like the slap and then they do this thing and it's like a specific thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. I hear the words, not the best choices. So did he not make the best choices in life sometimes? About certain things?
Yes, yeah.
I feel like especially when it came to like partying and doing things like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because he's laboring my breathing too, so I feel like all of a sudden it's kind of hard to like catch a breath. So and this is the most recent picture you have of him, right?
It's fairly recent.
Okay.
It's within, like, I don't have too many pictures.
Yeah.
I might have like another one that I could crop, but that one would be.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
Like the last 4 years.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure it was a more recent one, because did he like struggle with addictions?
Yes.
Because that's one thing he's showing me, and he keeps showing it over and over, and like I didn't even really want to say it, but I don't know, did he like use needles? Am I allowed to say that on here?
Not to my knowledge, but
I don't know if it's
there were other things.
I don't know if it's symbolic or if it's, because sometimes it's symbolic and sometimes it's literal, and he keeps like, you know, like and it's something he shows me over and over, and that's why I didn't want to say it, but it won't go away till I say it. But he keeps showing me like where you, and it might have only been once or twice, but he keeps showing me where like, you know, you tie the band off and then you kind of smack your skin.
Yeah.
I keep getting that, and I keep hearing that, so I don't know if it has to do with like where I'm getting my blood drawn or I'm having a hospital thing, or if it has to do with the other, you know, the stuff we just talked about. Because sometimes again it's symbolic and sometimes it's not, but it could have just been one or two times, I don't know, but he keeps repeating that vision to me for some odd reason. So, and he also with that brings in a highness feeling. Like sometimes when I connect to people that have had addictions, I'll literally feel a little out of it. And I'll get even that like warmth, like feeling of like when you're getting, like when you feel high, I kind of feel like that. He's making me feel that. I don't like when they make me feel that. So I don't know if that makes sense, but
that does make sense. Yeah.
It's almost like he's talking about like he got in with the wrong people. And it's like one of those things like I'm just going to do it once, but it ended up not being just once. It ended up, you know, becoming like an addiction. But I don't feel like he ever thought it was going to go further than that, but it's almost like this group of friends is like, "Hey, you want to try this?" Like that's how it comes across. As to how it possibly got started. Like he didn't have like the best friends in the world for that. You know what I mean? Like he had some shadiness around him, and they didn't really care if he got addicted or not.
Right.
And he's making my head hurt too. So he hands a red rose to you. Now that's a sign of love that I get. And that can be any form of love. So I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like there's a lot of love here. But I also get like this friendship feeling too. If that makes sense. Or like, you know, that friendship vibe, you know, when people have like, oh, I could talk to you about this, or I could talk to you about that, or I'm there for you, like that kind of feeling I get. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys ever like, I don't know why I keep picking up like a let me see if I can understand this. Like a school vibe.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys knew each other in school or if like you're going to school. I don't know what he means by that, but there's a There's a school vibe.
Do you want me to disclose, like, the connection?
Don't tell me yet. I'm trying to see if I always try to see if I can get it. Most of the time I can.
Okay.
But okay. but that's what I'm saying. Like, did you go to school together, or is there okay? Because it's like he keeps taking me back to like high school or I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's high school. It's just a school. I don't want to misperceive what kind of school it is. I feel like you're younger in the school.
Okay.
And then I get
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and then I get I get this friendship feeling, but I also get this love towards you. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, it does.
So I don't know if you guys dated or you're like friends and there's feelings there or something like that. Am I making sense? I'm trying to understand what he's telling me. I don't want to say that and you guys be family and me misunderstand it.
Do you want me to share at this point?
Well, just let me know if I'm on the right track here, that's all.
You are. Yeah, you're on the right track with everything that you're saying.
Okay.
I don't know if he will share with you, but
we'll see. I just want to make sure, like, I'm understanding this right, and like you're not, it's not like a friend. I mean, like a brother or a family member. And I'm taking the way that I'm feeling the love towards you correctly.
Well, I'm surprised that he hasn't said it, but should I share with you?
Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm on the right track. I don't like to be told things because I'm like, damn it, I could have got it. Like, and then I get mad because I should be telling you things. Excuse me, buddy. I just want to make sure I'm on the right track and understanding kind of like the dynamics there.
Yeah, there's love and friendship, but it's definitely not romantic love or friendship.
Right. Because that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when they hand a rose, like I have a lot of times that can be significant other and stuff, but I also have it sometimes where I'll get it from like just a friend to another friend. Just like a love, or even family member to a friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just a symbolism of love, the red rose. And I just like to try to understand why I get that, because it used to only be a romantic thing that they would give it to me with, but lately I've noticed they've been kind of expanding, and it's just like a symbolism of love, period. Right. So it kind of confuses me because when I first started doing this, it was always a significant other thing, but there might also be another reason for the rose, but okay. Like I said, some come through clearer than others. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it for now and see what it gives me, because sometimes if I push too hard, I screw myself. I'll literally block the information if I try to get anything. So I'll just leave it, and hopefully everything will come through clearer.
Okay.
Because there's a significant bond there. I just can't figure out what it is. He keeps making me feel like super tired, like more tired than I was. Did he ever try to go to rehab? Or was there rehab talk or something like that? Because he's talking about like a rehab that maybe he thought about, or
he probably had thought about it.
Because I feel like he at one point thought about it, but then it was like, it's almost like I get somebody coming in and like causing him to change his mind or something like that. Like, I just feel like he had these friends around him that weren't good for him. Like, he had friends that were okay, but then he had other friends that kind of like to keep him in that place. Like, they didn't want him to get better, if that makes sense.
That does, yeah, that makes sense.
And unless he would have gotten out of that situation and away from those people, it would have been almost impossible for him to come clean. Like, that's how he shows me. But he's like, it was my choice to stick around. And I just feel like it really changed him. I don't know if he... It's interesting because he shows me like this is a better picture of him. Because he's showing me, like, he keeps taking me to, like, what he would look like in a different picture if I were to have it. And how he wouldn't look the same, if that makes sense. Like,
right.
Like,
yeah,
I don't know if it, like, changed his looks or he just looked more, like, you know what I mean? Like, just not himself. Like, I feel like his looks changed. And that's what he's showing me. Like, this is him when he wasn't, maybe not as bad. And then he takes me to, like, a different version of himself. So,
okay.
So were addictions somehow involved in his passing?
Yes.
Okay. Why do I feel like he took something like he didn't know what it was? Like, it was almost like well, he gives me the word tricked. Like, maybe it was laced with something that he didn't know about. Or he keeps showing me, like, a pill bottle knocked over. So I'm not really sure what that means. But do you know if he took something different than what he normally does, or if it came from someone that was different? Like if it was laced with something?
That is a possibility. Okay.
Yeah. Because this was like an OD situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's the way I'm taking the pills knocked over. That's the way I'm perceiving it. But it's almost like this came from someone else, or this, like, I keep getting referenced to, like, fentanyl. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I don't know if I hope I'm allowed to say that on TikTok. I don't know. That one. So I don't know if it like had that in it, and he didn't know about it. Because there's a lot of times that people give people things and it has stuff in it like we don't know about. So I don't know if there was anything done to, like, prove that or not. But I keep getting that reference, like bad D's.
Okay.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
Okay. Because he keeps going back to, like, his fair-weathered friends or people that he thought were his friends that gave him this, but it was like bad D's. Bad D. Do you know what I'm saying, right? Without, I don't want to say that on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. Definitely, his passing was something that we didn't believe to be intentional from his side.
Yeah. And I don't, like, because he's saying it's, like, true, like, I didn't really, he thought he was invincible with it. You know, like most addicts do. They feel like, I could take whatever I want and, you know, I'm gonna be okay because I'm always okay. Like, that's how it kind of comes across. But he just keeps showing me this reference to, like, this bottle knocked over. But then he keeps bringing his friends into it. So I don't know if it's almost like somebody gave him maybe, I don't know, did they do a talk screen on him at all, or?
Yes, yeah, they did.
Do you know if that was in it at all?
I don't know the specific, like, substances or contents. I actually haven't heard back, but there was like a talk screen / investigation.
Okay. Because there's definitely, like, a mix of stuff. I keep getting, like, he's showing me, like, the report, and it has all this stuff in it. So I feel like there's a mix of stuff, but I keep getting that reference to that one specific one.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I feel like he took it, but it's like he didn't take as much as, like, would have caused this. I don't know if I'm making sense. It kind of comes across that way, like it was just stronger or bad D, and he didn't think anything was going to happen. Like, he just thought it was just like every other time. Like, that's kind of how it comes across.
Yes, that makes sense.
And I hear the word brother. So does that relate to you, or is that just like he's brotherly to you, or he is a brother, has a brother?
Yes, yeah, he is my brother.
Okay. I was waiting for him to tell me, damn it. He said that earlier, and I got confused with the rose. With the rose, he threw me, so I was like, huh? But yeah, he said that in the beginning, so he did tell me before. All right, he actually told me when you first came on, but I always question things and wait till they bring it up again, so. But yeah, so then that's just like, because he wants you to know that you're beautiful, and you were always beautiful in his life. And I think that's where the red rose comes in at. Like, you meant a lot to him. And I always get that, like I said, it's a symbolism of love to me. No matter what love that may be. And I feel like, too, like, you struggled along with him with this. So it wasn't like, and I feel like you kept your distance, because I get a distance here. So I don't know if at some point you tried to distance yourself a little bit. Does that make sense? Or you were at a distance, it's either emotionally or physically.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
But he shows me, like, a distance, so I don't know if, like, you weren't talking or you went through a period where you weren't talking, but I also feel like you just struggled to see him like that. He knows now, like, why you weren't around all the time. It's because he understands that you struggled to see him that way. Like, you knew he was capable of so much more. That's the way that it comes in.
Right.
And you hated to see him throw his life away. So I don't know if you ever told him, like, you're throwing your life away. Because I could hear that come out of your, like, in your voice. I don't know if you got angry at him at some point. Because it's almost like I feel like you got kind of angry and you said, you know, you're throwing your life away or something of that sort. But it's like I can hear you in your voice. I can hear you kind of, like, going off on him. And trying to get him to come to his senses. Like, that's the way that it comes in. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Because he appreciates you for that. He knows it wasn't easy to do. And he knows now why you did it. Like, you were just being the protective sister. So then you probably went to school all together. You probably always went to school then. Okay. But was he like your... Why does it come across that, like, he was your protector in school for some reason? Like, I don't know if, like...
He probably was.
It kind of comes across like if you had an issue with a boy, or you had an issue somewhere along the line, like, he was your, like, protector, and he would make sure that he had your back. You know, when he was doing okay in school. But for some reason, it comes in as, like, towards the end of high school is when maybe this started. Like, maybe his senior year or something. Like, because he keeps taking me back to, like, that might be the first time that he, like, tried it or got talked into it. That makes sense? Because he keeps taking me back to high school. Like, but, like, the later years of high school. And he's talking about, like, he knows he could have been so much more. Like, he knows that now. He knows that now, but as a human, like, he didn't understand it. I keep hearing this guy saying, "Come on, try it, dude. Don't be a P. Like, try it." Like, I feel like that's how it started, and he got a little pressured into it. And then it was like, he liked the feel of it. Like, that's how it comes across. And, he didn't know how to break that. Like, there was a part of him that really wanted to for, like, his family, but there was a part of himself where it helped him escape reality.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he liked that escape from reality. Because I feel like also, like, he wasn't, he ended up, it's kind of weird how it comes across. Like, I'm not strong in who I am. So it's almost like I need this to be somebody else, or I need this to feel a different way. Like, that's kind of the feeling I get.
Right.
And he takes me back to, like, was it like, I don't know if it's one of the last conversations that you had with him. Because I feel there was, like, a conversation that you had with him, like, on the phone or something. He keeps showing me a phone and I keep hearing your voice on it. And I don't know if that was, like, before you weren't talking to him or, like, before his passing. I'm not really sure. But he's talking about, like, a specific conversation that you guys had. Like, I take it as on the phone because that's how it's coming across.
Okay. Yeah, I don't recall. I know maybe, like, texting, but I don't recall
well,
when
texting,
our last actual phone call was.
Yeah, texting works, too, because I just take it as a symbolism to a phone. So
right.
any communication via phone is kind of how I take it.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they're just, like, they show me symbolisms and I have to, like, translate it. And, so yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, also, there had to be, like, some, and this might have been, like, a long, long time ago, but it just might be a conversation that he always remembers you two having, because I keep hearing your voice telling him things, and it's like, I think he always replayed that. But I also feel like you always think sometimes, like, what could you have done differently? Could you have done more? Like, you wish you would have done this. You wish you would have done that. Like, I don't know if you replay that in your mind, but it kind of comes across that way. And, he's, like, saying, like, there's nothing that anybody could have done. These were his choices, his decisions. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Darn, sorry.
No worries.
My other dog must be outside by the door. Because I keep hearing, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry. Because he knows, like, you were disappointed in him. You loved him, but you were disappointed in him. Like, he knows that.
Right.
I don't know why I keep, like, seeing him, like, on the street. So I don't know if he was he ever homeless, or was he, like, on the street for a couple days, or did he?
Yeah, like, for a couple of days. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Okay, because I was, like, seeing him, like, homeless, and he was saying, like, he was, like, he shows me, like, he was on the street for a couple days, and he was, like, cold, and I don't know.
Okay.
And I feel like people tried to help him, but it was like talking to a wall. Like, you know, he was gonna do things his way, and that's just how he was. Like, I feel like he's a gentle person. He's a good person. He just had a bad habit, and that bad habit changed him in ways that was hard for people to see. And I think he even shows me, like, him looking in the mirror and not being the person that he used to be, and recognizing that, but not sure how to fix it or change it, because he's torn between, you know, I'd like to do this for myself and my family, but I don't know, I like this too much.
Right.
So it's almost like he shows me like him looking in the mirror and not recognizing himself as a symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is symbolic or not, but he shows me him being, I don't know how to take this. I hope I understand this right, but he shows me like him in a casket with like a suit on. And, or like something that it feels like it's nice attire.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if his hair was back, but he shows me that, and I don't know why he's showing me that. I don't know if he's just trying to validate that's how he was, or they usually don't do that to me. But it's almost like I see him like this, like in like a viewing or something.
Right.
Okay.
There was a viewing, and that picture is pretty accurate.
Okay. He just kept repeating that until I said it. I'm sorry. I know that's probably hard. Where does does April come in as something significant? You, him, or anybody connected alive or past?
April, not April, but May.
But was there something significant that happened in April, maybe? Like, that led to May? Like, even the end of April?
Potentially, but I'm not sure that I would have known about it.
Okay, you don't have to know about it, just like if it like...
Yeah.
It's almost like there's something, like, significant that happened in April that might have changed the course into May. But it's almost like I want to go towards the end of April. So,
right.
Again, I don't know if there's something, like, significant... Because he said April, so
right.
I'm thinking that there was a life-changing something or something significant that may have happened in April in regards to how he was doing. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And where's Mama? She's still here, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I heard Mama. So, like, he's concerned about her. And he knows that he let her down as well.
Okay.
In a lot of different ways, he knows he let her down, because he says he should have been a better son. He should have been there for her, and she should not be having to go through this. He says, if I just would have been stronger, like, that's his message. Like, he needs her to know that he's sorry for his actions and for being like, that. Like, I feel like he had good, there was good times. There was times where I feel like maybe I don't know, this would have been, I don't know if this would have been, like, before, like, his addictions, or at some point where he was, like, cleaner. Because I keep seeing him being, like, around Mom, like, doing little things.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Because he shows me that, like, he wished, like, he was like that all the time, but he cherishes those moments, and so does she, because it was, like, there's certain times where she saw, like, she had her son back, and, so he knows those were important to her, but also to him. Like, he looks back now, and he's like, those were special times,
Right.
And he wishes that he would have, been around his family more, been more involved in his family. And I still feel like there's, like, this disconnect with you two that he wished didn't happen. So I don't know if there was something that happened that was that was like a blowout kind of thing, or an argument, or you were just struggling with being around him, but it comes across as there's, like, this disconnect that he wished wasn't there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he talks about, like, you being, like, him wishing he could be... Sorry. I guess I have to say that again. My cursor muted. The cat muted it. Sorry. So, again, there was a little bit of a jealousy feel there that he couldn't do what you were doing. And so I don't know if there's almost, like, a little bit of animosity in a way.
Okay.
At some point. Just because, you had your shiz together, and he couldn't do that. And he looked up to you for it, but he also was a little jealous of it because he wished he could. And this is a disease, for a lot of people. And it's very hard once somebody gets into it to break out of it. And it's sad because we start to not recognize our loved ones once they're in it, and I feel like there was also changes in his brain during this time with the addictions, because that does happen. I know people that end up getting like schizophrenia, like from this, like certain things that they're doing, and I'm not saying that's what he had, but I'm saying there was changes in his brain and changes in his personality due to the substances he was on, like over time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I also think, I don't know if it caused him to not be this gentle person and kind of blow up at you or blow up at people. Like, I feel like I've got this rage of anger sometimes that I can't control.
Yeah.
And, and so then there was also a point of, like, disrespect, like, towards you and Mom at some point, too. And it's almost like he's showing me that, and he's not proud of it. Like, he wasn't proud of, like, those moments. So I don't know if that makes sense. But
yeah, that does make sense.
Because I keep getting this, like, reference to, like, this blowout or argument or something. And then I keep getting a reference to, like, him just not being good towards you two at some point. Like, and of course that wasn't him. That was his addiction. But he's basically wanting to apologize for his actions.
Okay.
And let you know that he's okay on the other side. Actually, he's free. A lot of times when they go through when they have addictions here on Earth, they show me that they break the chains of that on the other side. And it's just huge lessons that they had to go through. But I just keep getting, like, I'm sorry, because I feel like, again, that he's wished that there wasn't a disconnect, but also the way that maybe he was towards you or treated you. Because I keep getting this anger thing with him, too. Like, I don't know if he just started, like, being more angry and whatnot, because of his addiction.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I'm almost, like, saying things I don't mean, flying off the handle, that kind of thing. It kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that what led to, like, your disconnect?
Sort of, yeah. Like,
okay.
it played a part. Like, we were never disconnected for very long, but we, although had a good bond, like, we just did not get along sometimes.
Yeah.
Most times.
I get this. That's what I get. Is, like, there's, like, a, like, oil and water kind of feeling. But...
yeah.
He has a lot of love for you, but that was the reason why you guys were like that, was because of he wasn't himself, like, he wasn't who he would have been without the addiction, like, it changes people. And that's what he keeps referencing, is like it changed him, and then that caused a disconnect, and then he's, he feels bad that you have those memories of him. Like, he wishes he could take it back and you didn't have those memories, because sometimes, I mean, you have good memories too, but sometimes we tend to focus on those not so good memories sometimes. And he just wishes, like, you had, like, a better relationship when he was here, and that you had more memories. Because that kind of comes in. But he takes me back to, like, when you guys were kids. And he keeps playing, like, this video of when you guys were kids. Like, I don't know. He's kind of showing me, like, him little running around in, like, a diaper and no shirt, like, through water. I don't know if that's a memory you would even remember, but he takes me to, like, a video of that when you guys were younger.
Yeah, he was very hyper and running around.
Yeah, but I see it, like, like he's in water or something. Like, running through the sprinkler, running through water, there's a reference to that. He was pretty young in that. Like, I see, like, he was in a diaper or something, I don't know. But, am I still muted? I'm not still muted, am I? It says I'm going. I don't know. It says I'm muted. I'm not muted. Okay. So I think the biggest thing that's coming through, because I keep trying to get other things, is that like, this is really important stuff that, like, he needs you to know.
Okay.
Stuff that he didn't get to say when he was here, and stuff that he wouldn't have said because he never liked to admit he was wrong. About anything. That's what he's saying. Like, he never, like, he was, I feel like he had a little bit of ADHD sometimes. Like, that might be a reason why he self-medicated, but also.
He actually did.
Okay. That makes sense. Because a lot of ADHD people, they self-medicate. That's what I worry about with my son. To kind of calm them down. I feel like his mind was going all the time. And so I feel like that was a big part of another reason. But also he's saying like he had these narcissistic tendencies to where like everything was you, and he never saw his own actions and the things that he did to him, like he did himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with these things. He says like I couldn't like see the error of my ways. Like, I don't know. He was always the one that was right, I guess.
Right.
And he never saw what he was doing as wrong. Like, I feel like he was a difficult personality anyways. But then you add the addictions onto it, and he became even more difficult and volatile, kind of. Like, that's the way that it comes across. He wasn't. He's gentle, and he was gentle when he was younger. And he has a gentle side to him, but most of the time he's like this other. It's almost like he showed me like an angel devil on, like angel on one side, devil on the other. Like he was like, I don't know. Like he could be two different people, you know. But a lot of times he wasn't the angel one. Most of the time he swayed the other side. But he keeps apologizing to his mom because I feel like maybe there was things said or done towards her too that really hurt her. And so you know, he wants to apologize for that.
Okay.
Was he like was he by himself and like found? Like he keeps showing me like him by himself. I keep feeling like, was he inside though?
He was inside, yeah.
Okay, because I keep seeing him like inside a room or inside somewhere.
Yeah.
But he's by himself. I also get though there's like some kind of depression around him as well. And then so this comes into the another self-medicating thing. Like he also was very hard on himself and low on himself, and I feel like he did struggle with depression or his own demon, so to speak. And that's what he's talking about. And I feel like sometimes like sometimes he would have these thoughts like, what am I even doing here? That's what he's showing me.
Yeah.
So he comes across as basically kind of like a tortured soul in a way. And him just being one of those people that chose to really endure and suffer and learn from it. And I'm sure that you guys learned from it too, but it also brought a lot of heartbreak because you guys knew that he was like destined for so much more, or you knew that he could be more. Like, I feel like he was pretty smart. I don't know if he did things with his hands or was able to like put things together or something like that. Like, I kind of get like that with him. he could be really smart at stuff sometimes.
Yes, yeah. Smart, and the hands-on is very accurate. Yeah.
I keep getting like hands-on stuff. Like, I don't know if it's fixing stuff or putting stuff together, but that's kind of how it comes on. He keeps showing me like him doing stuff with his hands.
Yeah.
And he kind of always had to be moving too. That's like my son. My son's the same way. Always has to be moving. I told him, like,
Yes.
you have to get a physical job because, so that's kind of how it comes across. His biggest message to you is that he's sorry for the way things were. He's sorry for, like, the difficulties he put on the family. And the people that he hurt along the way. Because he talks about, like, him being selfish about a lot of things. And, him, like, not thinking about others at the time. Just thinking about himself. Like, he says that he was selfish in a lot of ways.
Right.
But he wants you to know he's okay on the other side. He's not who he was here. He's dropped all of that negative human stuff. And he's like, if you could see me now. So, you know, he's standing there with his hair pulled back, and he's all dressed nice, and he's like, you know, if you could see me now, like, you would only know. Like, if you could imagine the best version of himself, dropping all the negative human stuff, that's how he is on the other side.
Okay.
So, muted again. So he's stepping back into the light, and he just wants to. He's blowing a kiss, and he's like, "I love you." So, I hope this was helpful, and it brought you some kind of healing, and he got to say what he wanted to say, and you know, hopefully it helped in some way.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. If you please share the message with your mom, because I feel like she feels like she failed in some way as a mom. Does that make sense? Like, towards him, not necessarily towards you, but towards him, she feels like she failed, and that somehow this is her fault, and she needs to know that it's not. So that's another big message. Yeah. That's another big message from him. Like, these were his choices and decisions, and he did nothing wrong as a mom. She did nothing wrong as a mom. She was a wonderful mother. That's what he says. She was a wonderful mother, and she couldn't have done anything more. That's what he's saying.
Right. And actually, when he showed you being alone in a room, he actually was living with us at the time of his passing. Mm-hmm. And I was actually on vacation, but unfortunately my mom was the one who found him. Okay. So that's probably why he was showing you that.
Yeah. And that's also like she probably has a lot of guilt because she didn't know. And you know, she thought us as moms are really hard on ourselves. We want to blame ourselves for everything that our kids do, even though it's their choices and decisions. And so that's kind of how it comes across, is that he needs her to know that there's nothing that she could have done. Like, she literally was like a very good mother to him, and she did everything right. That's what he's saying. And there was no way that she could have known and could have done anything. Like, these were his choices and decisions, and he takes responsibility for it. He takes full responsibility for his choices and actions here on Earth. And I was going to say that earlier.
Yeah.
That he takes the full responsibility, and he's like, sorry. Like, she's the one that had to find him, and he's sorry that, you know, she had to do, because I think, like, she still thinks back on that and stuff, and he hates that that's, like, her last memories, or the last memory of him. You know,
right.
So I feel like, I keep feeling like her pain as I'm doing this, like, he's making me feel how she feels, and he just doesn't want her to feel that way anymore. He wants her to know that he does love her and that he didn't do this because he didn't love her, and that he, you know, he's sorry for everything that he put her through, because he says she was literally the best mom. Like, she did everything she could for me. I should have turned out better. Like, that's what he's saying. Like, I should have made better decisions and better choices, but these were the choices and decisions I made, and these were mine and mine alone.
Yeah.
So that's like super important for her to know. And I'll try to
she would really enjoy to know that this was done.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, there was a lot of validation given, but also I feel like there's a lot of things he wanted to say that he needed you to know and he needed her to know. And so sometimes it's more important about the message.
Right.
And it's hard to like validate with stuff with him because, again, this was such a big part of his life.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like mostly all that he did.
Yeah.
So
it's like separate from the person.
Yeah.
Who he is or was, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So,
well, thank you so much. Yeah, it was
welcome.
Very healing, and I look forward to if it all worked out right with the technology. I look forward to a clip if I can get one.
Yep, I'll work on that. I'll see what I can do. So hopefully it'll save. I don't know. It's 4 hours, so I don't know. But here we go, another hour reading. This is why I can't do more.
He is pretty difficult, so
yeah.
I almost felt like apologizing.
No, he told me he was going to be difficult, but he did really well. I just was a little confused at the connection at first because, like I said, normally for a red rose, it's usually like a romantic connection, but lately they've been giving that to me for just like love in general. So it's just like, and because you're a woman, like you're beautiful, like it kind of comes across that way too. And he wished he would have respected you more and shown you more when he was here. And that, maybe sometimes you didn't feel like he really loved you, but he truly did.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Being human's hard sometimes. And he just had a lot of hard lessons,
Yeah. So well, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.